Richard Feynman was one of the absolute masters at explaining science. He just had this incredible talent for taking the whole universe and boiling it down to its most essential truths. So today, we're going to dive into the very first lecture he ever gave in his legendary series on physics. We're going to explore what he believed was the single most important piece of scientific knowledge we have, a single sentence that could literally rebuild our world from scratch.
So to kick things off, Feynman sets up this incredible thought experiment. He wants us to imagine a total catastrophe, right? A global disaster that just wipes out almost everything we've ever learned as a species. He asks, okay, if you could only save one sentence to pass on to whatever generation of creatures comes next, just one, what would it be? What single statement would pack in the most information and give them the best possible head start to figure everything out all over again?
I mean, really, take a second to think about it. What would you choose? Would it be about energy? Gravity, maybe? The speed of light? What one idea is so fundamental, so powerful, that it unlocks almost everything else we know about the world?
Well, Feynman's answer wasn't some ridiculously complex equation or some abstract concept. Nope, it was a simple, powerful idea that he called the atomic hypothesis. He was convinced that inside this one single idea, with just a little bit of imagination and thinking, you could rediscover an enormous amount about how the world works.
And here it is. This is Feynman's one sentence. All things are made of atoms, little particles that move around in perpetual motion, attracting each other when they are a little distance apart but repelling upon being squeezed into one another. Every single part of that sentence is absolutely crucial. The idea of particles, the fact that they're always moving, and that very specific push and pull force between them. This is basically the rule book for the entire physical world.
So let's just break that down into a few simple rules. Rule 1. Everything is made of these tiny things called atoms. Rule 2. They are never ever still. They're constantly jiggling around. And Rule 3. They have this special relationship. They kind of pull towards each other when they're a little bit apart, but they push away really hard if you try to squish them together. So let's see how these simple rules explain stuff we see every single day.
And Feynman uses the perfect example to show this in action. Water, right? We all know it. It can be a solid, a liquid, or a gas. And it turns out the atomic hypothesis explains why, just beautifully and simply.
Okay, let's start with ice. When water is a solid, the atoms are all pulling on each other, and it locks them into this neat, fixed pattern, like a crystal. They just don't have enough energy to break free. But, and this is key, they're not perfectly still. Remember that rule about perpetual motion? Even in solid ice, those atoms are constantly jiggling and vibrating right where they are.
Now let's add some heat. And really, heat is just another word for more jiggling energy. So in liquid water, the atoms get enough of a kick to break out of that rigid pattern. They're still close enough to feel that pull on each other. That's why water sticks together in a drop. But now they have enough energy to just tumble and slide right past one another. That's what makes it a liquid, a fluid.
And if you add even more energy, you get steam. Now the atoms are moving so fast they completely overpower that attractive force. They just break apart from each other and go flying off in all directions, bouncing around like crazy. It's an amazing illustration of how just changing the motion of the atoms totally changes the thing itself.
But this idea doesn't just explain the different states of matter, like solid or liquid. It also gives us a peek into the incredible dynamic processes that are happening all around us all the time, completely hidden from our eyes. So just picture a glass of water sitting on a table. To us, it looks perfectly calm, right? Still. But if you could zoom in to the atomic level, it would be pure chaos. At the surface, the water molecules are jiggling so violently that some of them are getting knocked so hard by their neighbors, they just fly right out into the air. That's evaporation. And at the very same time, other water molecules from the air are diving back in. It's this constant, furious dance happening right at the surface.
Okay, so this is a really cool story. It explains a lot. But it's all based on this idea of invisible particles jiggling around. Is there any way we can actually see proof that this is really happening? That this relentless motion is real?
Oh, absolutely. And it's called Brownian motion. Here's how it works. If you put really tiny particles, like specks of dust or pollen, into a drop of water and then look under a microscope, you'll see them jiggling around all over the place, randomly, forever. They never stop. What you're actually witnessing is the effect of trillions of invisible water atoms constantly smashing into these bigger particles from all sides, pushing them around. It's like a giant, chaotic game of bumper cars, and it's direct, observable proof of this atomic dance.
Okay, so this atomic hypothesis beautifully explains solids, liquids, gases, evaporation, a huge chunk of physics and chemistry. But this is where Feynman takes it one giant, absolutely breathtaking step further. He connects these little jiggling particles to some of the biggest questions of all.
And this is where it gets really profound. Feynman argues that the most important idea in biology is the exact same one. It's the idea that everything living things do, thinking, moving, living, can be understood from the point of view that they are simply made of atoms, and those atoms are just following the laws of physics.
He wants us to think about it this way. If a simple pile of atoms, arranged in a repeating pattern like water, can do all that cool stuff, make waves and foam and rushing sounds, then how much more is possible? What happens if you make an arrangement of atoms that's incredibly complex, one that's always changing and never just repeats itself? How much more marvelously could a thing like that behave?
And this brings him to his final, incredible question, aimed right at you, right at me. Is it possible that you, the person listening to this, the person who thinks and feels and has memories, are just a great big collection of atoms, but arranged in a pattern of such staggering complexity that you have the ability to wonder about yourself?
And here's the beautiful conclusion to it all. When we say we're a pile of atoms, that's not meant to diminish us. It doesn't mean we are merely a pile of atoms. Because, as Feynman so brilliantly puts it, a pile of atoms arranged in just the right, complex, wonderful way has all the amazing possibilities of the person that you see looking back at you in the mirror. And that is the world-changing power hidden inside his single sentence.